here today with Austin from True Automotive, and today we're going to be talking about why should I re-gear my vehicle?
Hey guys, this is a question that we get all the time. You know, really, I like to think of re-gearing and when I need to re-gear under three main criterias. Number one would be tire size. What size of tire are you running? What size of tire do you plan to run in the future? The next kind of major criteria I would say would actually be in the weight department. How much weight are you carrying behind you in the truck? That type of thing. And then the third thing I would say is what we're using the truck for. So if you're just hardcore rock crawler, if you're going to be doing some towing with it, things along those lines.
Alright, so one common question people always have is how is the re-gear going to affect the performance of my vehicle?
You know, the best way I like to understand it or kind of tell people about it is really that you're getting the car back to its efficiency range, the factory efficiency range. So you'll start noticing things like throttle response, specifically low end torque, that off the pedal power. So as soon as you get on that throttle, you feel it kind of take off. But really, your goal with it is to try to get it closer to the factory, like you were still on factory sized tires. So you really should feel the peppiness come back in the car with no disadvantage, meaning you're not stressing the engine. If anything, this is helping save drivetrain parts like transmissions.
Alright, so how is this re-gear going to affect my fuel economy?
Very common question again. I really feel like your fuel economy, you should have it increased, I would say around 10%, but just realize it's more of a ratio. So sometimes at higher speeds, like let's say 75, 80 miles an hour, you may actually have a little bit of a reduction. It all just depends on the gear set that you are going to be selecting for your truck.
So when I think about building my rig, in what order of operation should I put the re-gear into the process?
To really think that you should have a full scope of what you want to do with your truck prior to even considering doing a re-gear. That's really hard to do sometimes, but if you think that you're going to stick with one set tire size, like a 32 for the remainder of the vehicle, then we can kind of build a gear ratio around that. But if you plan to maybe run a much larger tire down the road, you really need to know that that might be the case. You kind of want to select one that is going to stick with the vehicle's life the whole time.
Can this negatively impact my vehicle at all?
We see tons of people miss that mark. Regear is one of those things that if it is installed correctly and done by a professional that knows what they're doing, there is literally no downside to it at that point. It lasts the life of the vehicle and cause less stress on everything, honestly.
So which gear ratio should I get specifically?
This is a question that I really would suggest giving us a call here at True Automotive so that we can kind of find your needs. Like this crawler, we have 538s in it. This 5th gen 4Runner right over here, which is definitely more of an overland build. We're doing 456s in it. Each person, it should really be an individualized conversation. Selecting the right gear set for you is very important. All right, guys, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch our video. One of the biggest things that I want to stress to you, though, is having these installed by a professional. If you don't have your gears set up correctly, it can be very costly, it can be very noisy. It can just be an all-around nightmare experience if you don't have it done correctly. This is something that we do on a day-to-day basis. So if you ever have any questions or concerns, even if you don't have us do the installation, we're happy to help you out.